Hi, I'm Joe Gerdes, and this is Coffee in the Capitol.
Our guest today is Senator Scott Martin, representing the 13th Senatorial District, and current chairman of the powerful Senate Appropriations Committee. Of course, we've had Senator Martin on Coffee in the Capitol before, and we thank you very much for coming back, sir.
It's great to be with you, Joe, and everyone out there watching from the association.
Senator, just a few things have happened since we last met. I think in your office we taped, but we really have some interesting things going on the Hill. Of course, we've got the beginning of the 23-24 legislative session that's just started. Of course, we've got some intrigue in the House as to how that's going to all unfold. A lot of new faces in both the House and the Senate. We have a new administration. Senator, what are some of your thoughts on this upcoming session?
Well, it's anytime you have a new administration come in, there's always a sense of new opportunity. And you see what the new direction the new administration is going to take. And of course, with the whole picture, the voters have let their feelings be known. They've sent the pieces of the puzzle to Harrisburg that they want to have represent them for this session. And so how that all kind of melds together is always very interesting.
Right.
But it kind of puts us in a stalemate right now. We obviously have sent a couple bills over there right out of the gate. We were expecting to do a lot more here in January and February. We were scheduled pretty much for both months, pretty solidly. But that's where we're at right now. Obviously, when we come back, you're going to see a lot of movement on the various cabinet for the governor, the appointees that he's nominated for secretaries. I know they're making their rounds right now, meeting with members. People are trying to get to know them before they cast the vote. And that's an important part for the Senate, obviously, is that consent part and working with these individuals that the new administration is trying to put in place. So we really want to focus on things that will allow Pennsylvania to grow, not only economically, but how do we grow demographically? How do we become a magnet for people who want to plant their roots here, buy a home here, obviously open a business or grow their business here? From a budget perspective, I'll say a lot of our work over the years in resisting massive spending increases or a lot of the taxes, even through the recovery from the recession, all the way to obviously dealing with the fallout from the pandemic. We've actually done a good job in positioning our budget, where we're almost at the average nationally for our fund balance. We want to hit that golden ring of having a structurally balanced budget where the revenues are matching the expenditures, and avoiding the pitfalls of a lot of using one-time funding, which, as you know, Joe, we saw a ton of coming from the federal government.
Certainly did.
Not using that for reoccurring expenses. The big thing will be on March 7th, I believe it's March 7th, Tuesday, when the governor makes his budget address, and maybe we'll get a more clear picture about where are the things we can find common ground on and work on together, and what are the things we got to play defense on. My background in county government, whether it was with the budget or local services and trying to make things work in even difficult times, has really served me well coming up here and understanding the local government had in terms of the decisions we make and how it impacts, whether it's municipalities or how it impacts counties. You gotta always be careful not to squeeze one side of the balloon and have it blow up on the other side and create bigger problems for you guys. So there's no shortage of issues as we go into this session. But here's the thing, Joe. Whether you're talking about transportation, whether you're talking about the processes that DEP puts, the local entities through, or private entities who want to come to Pennsylvania, I'm an optimist, and I think if we can tackle some of these things, we can really make Pennsylvania a magnet for families and for job creators. But that involves change in some cases. And as you know, change can often be resisted, but I'm hopeful given some of the things, and this is where we get to see things that were promised on a campaign trail versus things proposed in policy. Are we going to, be more transparent in permitting? Are we going to make the process better and more efficient? That to me, I have optimism that we have an opportunity to make that better. And we haven't felt that way in a long time. We've tried, but I feel like we potentially may have the ability to get some of these things done if promises evolve into governing. And that to me gives me hope.
Yeah, and to add on to that, Senator, to control spending, control costs where we can, where the state can make a difference there, and hopefully help and be positive in those aspects as well.
Oh, without question, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this too. One of the keys for Pennsylvania is energy. But here's the deal: you want success, then cheap, reliable energy is such an amazing thing to a healthy economy if that's the direction we want to go. And whether it's the regional greenhouse gas initiative and what that could do not only for prices for families or to even the municipalities or hospitals or education facilities across the board, how we deal with that going forward, especially with its implications not only here locally to Pennsylvania but globally in terms of geopolitical implications. Pennsylvania has the ability to make sure that we continue to have a reliable grid. We have to have a strong grid. It's a matter of life and death for many, and affordability is absolutely critical for a healthy economy and lower costs across the board, no matter what industry.
Sure, and the states that figure that out are the states that are going to thrive economically and with population growth.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for Coffee in the Capitol today. Senator, thank you again for joining us.
Anytime, Joe.
Thank you for joining us on Coffee in the Capitol this month. Remember, if you like what you're seeing, email tvn@psats.org. Also, be sure to subscribe to PSATS YouTube channel. Hit the bell button for notifications, follow our social media pages, and head over to the TVN page at psats.org for more township video news content. As always, thanks for watching.